We're reading the Greek Septuagint with Apocrypha. We're in the introduction. I'll give you a cap on the introduction here. This is College Classic Campus Hits. We're praying for Donald Trump right now as he has been affected by coronavirus, him and his family, and other members of Congress and the Senate. We're praying for them, and we're praying for city mayors, county mayors. We're praying for State's Department. We're praying for government, and we're praying for all officials under that they don't suffer this as well. Amen. This is an introduction to the book of Genesis. This is called the Apocrypha, Greek Septuagint with Apocrypha. The earliest version of the Old Testament scriptures, which is extent of which we possess any certain knowledge, is the translation executed at Alexandria in the 3rd century before the Christian era. This version has been so habitually known by the name of the Septuagint, Greek Septuagint, that the attempt of some learned men in modern times to introduce the designation of the Alexandrian version as more correct has been far from successful. People don't believe it. We need not wonder that this history of the origin of this translation was established with various fables at so early a period that it has been a work of patient critical research in later times to bring into plain light the facts which may be regarded as well authenticated. Right now, while I'm reading this, I'm hearing a voice attacking me. I don't know whose voice it is or why it's in my house. Here in Riverside County, Riverside County suffers from spiritual demons and spiritual qualities that probably shouldn't exist in our homes. We need not wonder that but little is known with accuracy on this subject, for with regard to the ancient versions of the scriptures in general, we possess no information whatsoever as to the time or place or execution, or of their execution, or by whom they were made. We simply find such versions in use at particular times, and thus we gather the fact that they must have been previously executed. If then our knowledge of the origin of the Septuagint be mere, it is at least more extensive than that which we possess of other translations. So, after the conquest of Alexander had brought Egypt under Macedonian rule, the newly founded city of Alexandria became especially a place where the Greek language, although by no means in its purest form, was the medium of written and spoken communication amongst the varied population there brought together. The Alexandrian dialect is an idiom in which the Septuagint version was made. Amongst other inhabitants of Alexandria, the number of Jews was considerable, and many appear to have settled there even from the first founding of our city, and it became the residence of many more during the reign of the first Ptolemy. Hence, the existence of the sacred books of the Jews would easily become known to the Greek population. So this is going to be something that's going to become known to us as we study the first book of Genesis. God bless you. In the beginning, God made the heaven and the earth, but the earth was unsightly and unfurnished, and darkness was over the deep. And the Spirit of God moved over the water, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that that it was good. And God divided between the light and the darkness. And God called the day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the water, and let it be a division between the water and the water." And it was so. And God made the firmament, and God divided between the water which was under the firmament, and the water which was above the firmament. And God called the firmament heaven, and God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, and the second day. And God said, let the water which is under the heaven he collected, and be collected into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And the water which was under the heaven was collected into its places, and the dry land appeared. And God called the dry land earth. And the gatherings of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth the herb of the grass bearing seed according to its kind and according to its likeness, and the fruit tree bearing fruit whose seed is in it, according to its kind, on the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth the herb of grass bearing seed according to its kind and according to its likeness, and the fruit tree bearing fruit whose seed is in it, according to its kind, on the earth. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, and there was the third day. 3. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth, to divide between the day and the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years, and let them be in the firmament of the heaven, so as to shine upon the earth. And it was so. And God made the 2 great lights, the greater light for regulating the day, and the lesser light for regulating the night, the stars also. And God placed them in the firmament of the heaven, so as to shine upon the earth, and to regulate the day and the night. And to divide between the light and the darkness. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the 4th day. And God said, let the waters bring forth reptiles having life, and winged creatures flying above the earth and in the firmament of heaven. And it was so. And God made great whales and great living reptile, which the waters brought forth according to their kinds, and every creature that flies with wings according to its kind. And God saw that they were good, and God blessed them, saying, increase and multiply, and fill the waters and in the seas, and let the creatures that fly be multiplied on the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, and there was the 5th day. I believe this is where he created the dinosaurs and stuff. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creatures according to its kind, quadrupeds and reptiles and wild beasts of the earth according to their kind. And it was so. And God made the wild beasts of the earth according to their kind, and cattle according to their kind, and all the reptiles of the earth according to their kind. And God saw that they were good. And God said, let us make man according to our image and likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the flying creatures of heaven, and over the cattle and all the earth, and over all the reptiles and that creep on the earth. And God made man according to the image of God. He made him, male and female, he made them. And God blessed them, saying, increase and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the seas, and the flying creatures of heaven. Now here we see that it claims that God made male and female. It doesn't specificate whether or not it was only of of animals and reptiles and stuff, because we know that if he did create those, he didn't give Adam a keepsake until later. But that's just something I wanted to add. And all the cattle and all the earth, and all the reptiles that creep on the earth. And God said, behold, I have given to you every seed-bearing herb, sowing seed, which is upon all the earth, and every tree which is in itself the fruit of the seed is sown. To you it shall be for food. Now, what God's telling him is that you possess this, man. This is yours. It's all yours. and to all the wild beasts of the earth, and to all the flying creatures of heaven, and to every reptile creeping of the earth, which has in itself the breath of life, even every green plant for food. And it was so. And God saw that all the things that he had made, and behold, they were very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, and the sixth day. And the heavens and the earth were finished, and the whole world of them. This is College Classic Campus Hits. I have to say, I have to wonder, did God create female and male, and Adam didn't think he deserved one, or he didn't want one, or he was being particular, and so God created a special female for Adam, which would be Eve? This is College Classic Campus Hits. I'm TcYbarra. Good morning. God bless you.